Kochie's Business Builders is proudly brought to you by our partners QBE.
Coming up on Kochie's Business Builders, the great return. Tips on how to manage a hybrid workforce. Is your business underinsured? Don't get caught out. Plus, a natural botanical business needs our help to thrive online. G'day and welcome to another episode of Kochie's Business Builders, where we take a look at the issues facing small business owners and come up with practical advice and tips and inspiration to help them succeed. Joining me today as co-host is Matt Alderton. Matt's a business strategist and the founder of BX Networking, Australia's #1 business networking community. He's passionate about advocating for small business and loves mentoring, training and educating business owners so that they can have the skills and tools they need to succeed. He's founded several businesses over the years and recently returned from the US, where he's expanded BX's reach to include new live and local events to a global audience. Matt, thanks so much for joining us.
It's great to be here.
Good to see you. Welcome
you.
to the show. So, Matt, why do you think networking is such a key ingredient to business success?
Well, I think it comes down to a couple of things. Firstly, most business owners are looking for more sales in their business, and they typically think, oh, what's another way to get more sales? And networking pops into their brain. And it is very much a marketing exercise for a business, and every business should have a diversified number of marketing pillars that they tap into for their business. But probably the unknown benefit of networking is the community element to it. Being around other business owners that, maybe have some experience that you don't have, and just, getting that collaborative support from other business owners in a community is so powerful.
Well, Matt, I can't wait for your thoughts on this business. BX Earth, founded by Mark Ray and Rob Janser. BX Earth is a natural botanicals brand that provides fantastic homeware and skincare products for people and poochers. The business offers a no-nasty solution with organic ingredients sourced from Australian nature. Now, Mark and Rob have established a pretty good presence in the retail sector, but direct-to-consumer sales is not their forte. They jumped online, but their e-store isn't getting traction. Matt, it's a pretty common problem, isn't it? People go online and they think sales are going to flood in. Doesn't work like that, does it?
It certainly doesn't, that's for sure. I think that when people build a website, they just think it's going to be a whole nother business on top of the current business. But at the end of the day, you've still got to feed a hungry crowd. You've got to have a bigger audience than your local audience that you may have tapped into.
How do you make your brand stand out amongst all the competition online?
I think there's a number of strategies that you can have. I know a great strategy that we use in our business is a partnership strategy about finding other businesses that have the same sort of audience that you have, the same customers that you have in your business. And if you can tap into their audience base by partnering with them, and they can probably tap into your audience base as well, you can build a great collaborative partnership.
Such great advice. Now, to help BX Earth wrap their heads around the ins and outs of e-commerce, we sent along KBB expert Paul Waddy, the author of Selling Online for Dummies and Shopify for Dummies, to see how they can get more traction with their online store.
So here we are at BX Earth. Mark, this is a family business started by your pop. Tell us a bit about that.
Yeah, my pop started Barfox about 50 years ago. I used to work in the factories doing all the manufacturing.
The Barfox. I mean, I think every Australian household has had Barfox at some stage.
Yeah, I used to go to people's house and I'd find 6 of them up in the bathroom. Lavender, milk and honey, anti-stress, aloe vera.
Is that how you learnt about this industry?
I looked up to him, I followed him, and I wanted to be just like him.
That's amazing.
Well, that's the family business. All right, I'm going to let you two have a chat and I'm going to go fill some orders.
So, Rob, how long's BX Earth been around?
BX Earth is a brand started off about 7 years ago now, and we're all about natural ingredients and being at a price that's affordable every day rather than being super premium.
So, Rob, what products does BX Earth sell?
So we have hand washes, we have body washes, we have candles and diffusers, and also more recently, about 3 years ago, we went into dog shampoos. And our proposition about dog shampoos was that it's a natural product, but it's affordable. You shouldn't have to pay twice as much to wash your dog as you would for your own hair.
And Rob, how many products do you manufacture each year?
We're probably manufacturing about 700,000 different units of different products. As I mentioned, I think we've got 250,000 dog shampoo variants. So it is actually quite a big operation.
Tell us about some of the challenges that you face in BX Earth.
We want to have more connections with customers directly, and so that's one area that we're really starting to really ramp up and work more closely with.
So BX Earth is a B2B business, but Rob, you're more interested in uncovering the D2C angles.
I think, yeah, we do. We need to evolve and move more and more into that sector. Being in the FMCG market has allowed us to have a brand that people can trust, and it also allows us to be able to provide volume and products at a good price. We're finding more and more customers are literally contacting us regularly. I mean, even my phone number's on the back of every single pack. So I have people ringing me all sorts of times, and they actually want to be able to buy directly from the people that they know are making it.
In a digital age, BX Earth has 1% of its revenue coming from online sales. What do you think's held you back from expanding that until now?
Well, I think realistically, look, I've come from the world of marketing and advertising in the old days, and that's where I was born and bred, when media and marketing was a very, very different world. Now it is so much about social media, engagement, direct to consumers and all those things, and literally I'm not a professional in that area at all. That's the part that is missing in our jigsaw puzzle.
So Rob, it's great news for me that you're interested in growing your e-commerce business, because that's what I do. So I've been in e-commerce for 15 years, I've written books on e-commerce, and I've helped hundreds of businesses just like BE Earth start in e-commerce and scale to the point of sometimes tens of millions of dollars a year. So how about we go upstairs and get into some e-commerce?
Perfect, let's do it.
Welcome back to Kochie's Business Builders. Did you know there are risks for your small business that might be right under your nose? We asked Elliot Hill, Managing Director of QBE Insurance, to shed some light on the biggest trouble spots.
Thanks very much, Kochie. So I think businesses have been really challenged in the last few years. They've had to manage through COVID-19. They've also got inflation. I mean, that's really impacting a lot of people. So in terms of the impact to their insurances, a lot of this is about what they do and how they do it. And if you've changed in any way in terms of your business, you probably need to think about whether or not your insurances need to change too. Probably highlight 3 common risks for business. The first is around what we call business interruption. And that means, can I carry on my business if there's a fire at the premises or if there's a flood? The second is probably about how to protect your employees and also the customers that enter your premises. And then the third is what we call underinsurance. And that's where you probably don't have enough insurance to actually pay for a claim that might happen to you or might happen in your premises with one of your staff members. The best people to speak to are the insurance brokers or agents. They can help you both in terms of what types of insurance that you need to buy, but also if you ever do have a claim, they're incredibly helpful in terms of navigating through that claims process for you. So you can go to our website, which is qbe.com.au. That's a great source of information. The Insurance Council of Australia is also great. And also I would encourage anyone to talk to a broker or an insurance agent as well.
Now, a new global study by Advanced Workplaces found the much anticipated return to the office is far from complete. In fact, a large number of sectors say they believe the great return will actually never take place. Traditional office-bound industries like banking have less than half their staff working in the office, while the tech sector is only 15%. It seems that hybrid and remote work is here to stay. Matt, it is a challenging time for a lot of businesses, but there are opportunities as well, aren't there?
I guess so. And look, I think that COVID has taught us many things about how to better work with our team and our employees. And one of those is that hybrid element to people being able to work at home. Because at the end of the day, it's about productivity, right? We want to get the most out of our employees while having them enjoy what they do and have it fit into their life and stay with us for a long time. Because let's face it, if you can get them in the door now, you've got to keep them because it's hard to find good ones, right?
Yep.
So I guess using and really working with that hybrid model is so powerful to ensuring that you can keep people for a long time, keep them engaged and keep them really productive.
How can you encourage staff to come back if there's a bit of resistance there?
I guess it comes sort of full circle back to how we started today, talking about community. The workplace is a community for people. It gets them outside of their home, it gets them in amongst their peers and people they can learn from. And you don't get that through Zoom or through working, from a remote perspective. You really get that by being part of that community in the office.
Do you reckon there'll be a return ever to sort of strict 9 to 5 in the office?
Well, I hope not. Because at the end of the day, I don't think anyone really wants 9 to 5. They want a workplace that suits their time needs. And people want to work during the night, during the day, all different times of the week. Why wouldn't we want to be flexible with that, as long as it fits our customers' needs as well?
Thanks, Mac.
G'day folks, Tracy Sheen, the Digital Guide, back with another tech tip. Today I want to share with you some insights around Google Analytics. There's a lot of tools in the back end of Google Analytics and it can get all a bit confusing. So the first thing you're going to want to know is how long are people spending on your website? Now, Google is really looking for an average of at least 3 minutes when people visit your website. So you want to make sure that you're creating enough content that's keeping them engaged and moving them through your website in a logical way. The second thing you want to know is around what pages are holding their interest. Now, I know on my site, they spend a lot of time in my glossary and my blogs. So I want to make sure that I'm constantly updating that content, keeping it fresh, keeping it engaging. Remember, we're looking for at least that magic 3-minute mark. That's it for this week. Tracy Sheen, the Digital Guide. Get cracking on Google Analytics.
Hi, I'm Catherine Savasio and I'm the founder of Aroma Baby Natural Skincare, which I started in 1994. I'm one of the KBB small business experts and I've got 3 great tips for you to start you on your export journey. Number 1, make sure you register your IP. All your trademarks and social media handles should be protected and available to use in the market that you want to use them in. There's no point starting a great strategy to export and finding out later on that you're actually not able to use your own name. Number 2, start off small. Don't expect to conquer the world overnight. There's no rush. Choose a market that is small and manageable, that has low barriers to market. And number 3, make sure you do your homework. And that means you need to understand consumer buying habits. How are they purchasing products that are similar to yours? Is there a need for products like what you have? Or is the market already flooded? So I hope those tips help you on your export journey.
Hi, I'm Pamela Jabor, CEO and founder of Total Image Group, founder and head designer for Capsule Collection Wardrobe. I grew up with fashion. My earliest fashion memory would have to be my mum and I, anywhere we went, she would get stopped and asked, where did you get that? You look great. I love your outfit. Dad was also a real stickler for a suit. The first time he didn't wear a tie, we didn't recognise him. My grandma, till this day, hair and nails weekly, really takes pride in her appearance. And so I feel like that group of strong support really embedded in me from such a young age the importance of fashion and dressing the part, and I naturally became super passionate about it. I studied a Bachelor of Business Marketing at University of Western Sydney. I started Total Image when I was 21, so straight out of uni. Hadn't really worked anywhere else besides telemarketing through uni, cold calling. My biggest learning curve in starting the business was learning about the industry. I would task myself to make 100 phone calls a day to build a database. I knew I needed clients, but it did take 12 months to get our first sale. About a year and a half in, our biggest client had 300 staff, and we got an inquiry for someone who had 30,000 employees. They were a national contract, and I guess at that point I knew that if we won that contract, it would kind of be our next journey. We were a team of 3. They didn't know it was my business, so I went in and pitched as sales coordinator, and we won. Our secret sauce was giving them photo shoots, fashion shows. We just threw everything we had at it, and I guess at that point I realised our strength was making uniforms fun, and we promised from that point on to offer that to a client regardless of size. Today we dress over 300,000 people a day. I was really young when I started the business. We grew really quickly. I hired quickly, I hired cheap, I couldn't afford to pay premium salaries, and I learnt the hard way the importance of culture. And that was a great lesson to learn in a hard way, but we're just known for our culture and our DNA, our values, and our people. I think March 2020, that was when COVID first hit and became a real reality for a lot of businesses in Australia. In reflection, COVID was a great opportunity for us to reset and almost go back to startup mode. And like a lot of other businesses, we just went through every cost. We operated lean, we dropped our hours, dropped our days for a few months, and we went hard into innovation mode. Our biggest success has always been about diversification. We have always operated across a myriad of verticals, and when COVID hit, that served us because yes, hospitality and retail crashed, but healthcare and construction needed us more than ever. And being agile and a small family business, we were able to kind of regroup, retarget, refocus our strategy and concentrate on those areas that were still in need of uniform or product. I do drive the team crazy. I'm very futuristic and it's always like, what's next, what's next, what can we do different? I created a brand called Capsule Collection Wardrobe. I'm super passionate about classic wardrobe items that just last the length of time and thought, well, it's about time that I create a collection where women could invest in lifelong pieces that wouldn't date. It's not fast fashion, so it kind of sung true to something that was super important to me and just design really good quality pieces that would last a lifetime in a woman's wardrobe.
Welcome back to Kochie's Business Builders. Earlier in the show, online sales guru Paul Waddy caught up with Mark Ray and Rob Janzer, founders of BX Earth, to talk about the challenges they're facing with their online store. Now let's check back in as Paul offers some solid advice on how BX Earth can soup up their sales with a direct-to-consumer model online.
Okay, Rob, thanks for letting me take over your desk. We've come upstairs to have a look at your e-commerce business. So, e-commerce is 1% of your revenue currently, and we're looking to do a little more. Is that right?
That's right. We really need to grow that channel more than anything else right now.
So, Rob, tell us about the website. How long has it been going, and are you happy with it?
The website's really only been going for about 2.5 years. We've spent minimal amounts of money on it. We've fed our social media through it as well to give it a bit of life and colour, but there's a lot that needs to be done with it.
So we're here in what's called the back end of your website, your control panel. So this is where we're looking for certain KPIs such as conversion rates and so on. So I might just take you through yours and do a bit of a health check.
That'd be great.
So the first thing I notice is the site's a little slow. So we want each page loading within 3 seconds. That's one of the key conversion rate levers. One thing you'll find interesting, Rob, is that more than 50% of visitors to a website will leave the website without even clicking once. When we have a visitor on the site, we've got to get them to the checkout in as few clicks as possible. This is your nav up here. So when I hover over store, I don't see a whole lot happening. I'm just taken to a whole lot of products. Yeah. We need to split that out because not everybody's interested in the candles, not everybody's interested in the dog shampoos. So we need to give them the choice to shop only what they're interested in. One of the key elements of the product page is product descriptions. So one thing I notice on this product is it's very short.
Yeah, that's right,
so we're not selling the product as well as we can. When you're writing what's called your product descriptions, try and answer the question, what problem does my product solve? Try and answer that in one or two sentences.
That takes me back to the old days at Mojo when it was always about repeat.
Same thing.
One single thing. Yeah. What's the single most important thing that your customer wants to hear about you? Yeah. You flog that.
I think another thing you could do on the product page here, Rob, is to show your shipping times. So people want fast shipping. And they don't want to click around the website having to find where your shipping prices and times are. You might be interested to know that businesses who have an engaging About Us page often get a higher conversion rate than those that don't. One thing I noticed about you and Mark, your characters, but when I click on Our Story page, it doesn't reflect that at all. You and Mark are no shrinking violets. We need to get your faces here, or even better, a video of you guys talking about the product and your beautiful factory here and the fact that you make everything in Australia. How about I leave that with you for a couple of weeks and check back in and see how you're going?
It's the best advice I could have ever asked for. I really can't tell you how grateful Mark and I are.
So, Matt, what do you reckon is the biggest mistake business owners make with trying to sell online?
I guess I think they sell too fast online. They don't build that relationship with the customer.
Too fast?
Yeah. I feel like The online scenario for business should be about building engagement with the brand. It should be about, articulating your values and your purpose and why you do what you do. Simon Sinek famously said it, people don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it. So why don't people build that relationship first with the customer and then sell second? And the selling becomes much easier then, I think, as well.
Matt, thank you for that, and thanks for joining us on the show today.
Pleasure.
It's been great having you aboard. And remember, if you're looking for small business tips or the latest news and expert advice, then you can find them online at kochiesbusinessbuilders.com.au or follow Kochie's Biz on Facebook, LinkedIn, Insta and Twitter. We'll see you next time. Next week on Kochie's Business Builders, sales secrets from an online legend. We meet the entrepreneur saving ugly fruit and veg from landfill, plus why every business owner needs an exit plan.